Yes, people, it's back with your, well, you could say your weekly rivals, not virals. I was going to say your twice a week, but that's going to be happening again on Wednesdays with a set panel every week. But today we are joined by George, man like Daps, man like Mo in the morning, by the way, in America, 6 a.m. And also, what I'm calling him, the infamous Greezy Don, you know, and also Roms when I just might as well get Roms in the building too. Why not? Why not? Let's go, man. What were you saying?
Well, I've just big up everyone.
I've just said, I've just seen. Hold tight, Terry. Firstly and foremost, hold tight, Mr. Flewers, and hold tight, all you little snaky bums, yeah, that watch Never a Foul, and go running back to Terence and tell Terence, yeah, that I'm on here slagging him off, and that I'm on here. He should never work with us because of this and that. Listen, you bum, Prime R9. Yeah, you probably actually support Ronaldo more than you do whichever club you claim to support. But listen, first and foremost, me and Cass knew what Terry had said because we've been watching the show while we drove back from Coventry. We disagreed with some things we said, which we stand by. Yeah, Bruno is not a phenom, right? As a grown man, you mock other grown men, but then you claim, oh, we're bigger than everyone. Right, I've just had a phone call with him, and I've said the same to him, by the way. So we're not slagging him off. We are more than cool with Terry. That's why you've only really ever seen Terry on one other channel, and that's Never a Foul. But Prime R9, you bummy bum, yeah. Like, keep being a snake. So that's the first thing. The second thing I just saw, just literally as the show was starting, is, oh, and I'm not. Also, by the way, we work with this guy. So before you go, oh, we're being snakes. Don Robbie now claiming that the Community Shield should be called the Super Cup. Yeah. Them man are starving.
They'll do anything. They'll do anything to have a chance.
Though, yeah. The Community Shield should be renamed something different. I'm not to a Super Cup or whatever it means, but change the name of Community Shield.
Why?
I reckon.
It needs a revamp. It definitely needs a revamp.
How? Why? It's a first against second.
It's not George, don't worry, your team will never be involved. George, your team will never be involved.
You'll never win that. You'll never win that.
You're scratching for trophies. You're out here trying to claim these
scratching for trophies, brother. You're here.
Just like you done with the Carabao Cup.
Daniel Levy is
you guys are going to try and make anything look bigger than it is because you're desperate right now, and I hear it. I'm never going to be desperate. I'll call it as it is.
Your chairman is flying away from the home country, so he doesn't have to deal with Bayern Munich because he thinks he's got a bigger ego and a bigger.
I don't know if you would know, but when you're in negotiations, that's what you would call.
Is that what you do? Is that what you do? Yeah.
That's what you call a masterclass. They put a deadline.
Go and get thick instead.
No. Let's get this right. Every other team that Bayern deals with, they used to bully and they bully them into negotiations.
Like who?
They force the player to speak to the club and say, accept the bid. They said there's a deadline, and what did we do? We ignored them. And guess what he said? You know what? I'm going on vacation for 2 weeks. So hear this. I don't even care about your bid. I'm going to chill, and we're going to let you guys sit and see what we want to do. But there's no way that you're going to sit here and say that Levy is being stupid or he's being a bum right now. This is smart. This is causing Bayern to get on their hot heels, and they've paid the money that we want. At the end of the day,
are you gonna have that same opinion if Harry Kane ends up staying and then you lose him on a free?
I've said all the way through. I've said all the way through. For me, all the way through, I'm happy to keep Kane. I'm happy to sell
Tiger Cup, man.
I'm cool either way.
Wait, George, you're saying this is smart, but then what if Daniel Levy decides to accept the bid later on in the window? Then you're struggling to. We can't replace Kane.
There's that as well.
We've already looked at options. As you guys saw, as soon as the news come out about that bid, there was about 3 or 4 different strikers that said Tottenham are ready to bid for. Tottenham are in for these players, and Tottenham are ready to bid. Gift Orban, Mehdi Taremi, all these different types of players. Some of them are good, some of them are bad. Gift Orban, for me, he's a top prospect. From what I've seen of him, I'm not going to say I've watched him before. But what I've looked at him, And from what I've seen, he reminds me of Jermaine Defoe. He looks like a good little player. He's quick off the ball, sharp turns, good finishing.
When did you gather that?
For me,
YouTube?
there's good options out there that we can go and get at a short notice, and there wouldn't be too much of a problem. They're not going to replace Kane. No one's going to replace Kane, but there's options. And if we get the money in, we can replace him with what's out there, and it'll be all right. You guys are right tonight.
Let me ask you, yeah, because you've been getting onto other people's strikers and everything, but yet you said he looks like a little striker. And where have you gathered that from? YouTube compilations? Because don't say you've been watching this guy because you haven't.
I just said that I didn't want to.
He said he had it, to be fair.
You're quick to criticize other man's strikers.
I'm not that guy. I'm not going to lie. I never heard of him. He's watching the Belgium league.
You're quick.
I'm not watching the Belgium
You're
league.
quick to criticize other teams' signings. Let's say the Hojlunds and whoever else and da 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 da.
But I've watched Hojlund. He's Serie A. I've seen him at Atlanta.
I know.
Saw 9 goals in 27 games or 32 games. Is it? Mo, you correct me. Was it 9 goals in 32 games? It's nothing amazing.
Half a goal again.
So hold on. But 1 second. How many goals did Richarlison? How many goals did Richarlison get last season?
Why are we talking about Richarlison?
What's the guy
We're
called?
talking about
No. So I like what
George.
guys. I like what George is doing. Like, if we're gonna talk about a player, let's finish that player, and then we can slag another player. If we just keep doing that, we're never gonna finish.
Mo, all right, so let's go. Swing this to Mo. Mo, you've watched a lot of Serie A football. You're probably the Serie A specialist.
It's a big list, but fine.
I'm gonna rinse your eye. By the way, yeah,
we're gonna sit here and say that you've seen more of Hojlund than some of us. Yeah.
Yes.
Do you think that he's going to be the big top striker that they're Man United are touting him to be? He's going to be the 20 goal a season.
He has everything.
Wait, Cass, let him answer. Let him answer.
I think he has a lot. He's 20 years old. I think every time I watched him last year, I wanted him at my club. He has a lot of weapons, quickness, good touch, good shot on him. 20 years old and first season ever to play in a top flight. I think he was good. They overpaid, of course, for him. I'm not going to sit here and say, yeah, he's worth 72 million. It's a lot of money, but there's a lot of potential there. They overpaid probably by 15 million pounds or something. Cass would tell you that. I know that Cass would tell you that.
Yeah, it's definitely we're way overpriced. I was vexed at that deal. But George, your striker plays in the next league, yeah, and he's only scored 11 goals, bro. And he played more minutes than Hojlund.
Who's that?
Your next brother, Alejo Vales, whatever his name is.
He's a youngster. Come on.
What do you mean a youngster? How old is he?
So is Hojlund.
No. The difference is though, Hojlund's coming in as a marquee signing. Vallejo's coming in as third or fourth option. He's coming.
Wait, before I say anything about Hojlund, Cass, is his name pronounced Hojlund or Hojlund?
No, there's no D. There's no D.
There's no D. Yeah. All right,
No, hold on, George. You just said that your guy's coming in as third or fourth choice, and Hojlund's coming in as first choice. So just to
I said he's coming in as a marquee signing. But
I want to go back to something I said before and something you just said there. So you said he's coming in. Your guy, your younger's coming in as your third or fourth choice. So could you tell me who's above him, please?
At this moment in time, above Vegas, we've got Richarlison, we've got Kane.
Okay, stop there. Thank you. Stop there. We got him. How many goals did Richarlison last season?
Wait. I don't think when you're saying we got him, I don't think you're getting at what I'm saying.
Okay, no. So,
how many
goals did Richarlison get last season?
Vélez is the young striker that we're bringing in. If we sell Kane, which we pretty much are going to do.
No. Let's not move the goalposts on what I'm speaking on, bro. Let's go back to what we were talking on. You said that Hojlund only got 9 or 11 goals. How many goals?
Regardless, we're going to sign another striker regardless. The other strikers we're looking at have a better record. They have a better record than Hojlund. They have a better record than him. They have better records than 9 and 32 goals. Let's say gift over 23 games, 22 goals. They're the type of strikers we're looking at.
Hold on, please, George. You just knocked Hojlund's record, 9 in 32, right? You've then said that you've got players above your fourth choice younger that you're bringing in, and you said Richarlison is above him. So I'm just asking you the question because you're putting Richarlison above this younger. He was the first striker you said that came out of your mouth. So I'm asking you, how many goals in how many games did Richarlison get in the Premier League last season?
Richarlison didn't score many goals last season.
Okay, cool. So in that case, Hojlund
I don't know
has
what
a
you want
bet.
to do. Wait, okay.
Well, I
so
don't want
if
to
you
do
wanna
anything
say
more
that-
than that.
Okay,
Nothing
wait,
more
no,
than that.
because Daps. Then now we're being disingenuous because I know you, Daps. I know you, and I know you're a smart man. Because every time we have these conversations, you say, "I don't judge players off one season. Don't be silly. The player can have a world-class season. It's always across a 2 to 3 season period." I know Daps. I know Daps very well, man. So if you would look at Richarlison's record, you'd see in his past.
That
2 to 3
stinks. I've never
seasons,
rated him
the
at all.
season, okay, you've never rated him, but he scores
Yeah.
goals. You can look at his records prior to this. He scored more than 9 goals.
But in your
Most-
system, does he?
No, wait. You just said as I said, we established a player across 2 to 3
Can I
seasons.
defend my player?
It doesn't matter whether it was our season or not. It was
Please do
constant.
take over before we get caught out. Take over. I need to tag you in now.
Yeah, or look, you want to keep talking over me over my own player. Like, anyways, Rasmus Hojlund, yeah. If we're gonna deep it, he scored 16 goals and got 7 assists last year. Yeah, if we want to really deep it, yeah, and go. By the way, go check the minutes. And by the way, go check the international level.
competitions. I did say Serie A stats.
If you want to
Just
do it
like we
that-
said,
Wait. No, Jules, let me finish, brother. Because let me tell you now, even the Hojlund league he was in before he went to Atalanta, he still scored more goals in better minutes than what your brother did in his shitty little Argentina league. Yeah, so don't give me that crap. So if you want to do comparisons, right?
Wait, why are you? Ron,
Wait,
you see what these guys are doing? They're literally they're feeding off scraps. They're comparing Hojlund to Velis, who's coming in for 50.
I don't even know who Velis is. This is the
I
first time
didn't
I'm
know
hearing
him.
of this
I
guy.
didn't know him.
George, are you gonna find let me finish? Because you like to say let me finish as well, because I'm gonna do that.
We all
Your
say
guy,
that,
yeah.
to be fair.
Your guy said in 60 more minutes, no, tell a lie, less than that, 40 more minutes. My striker, by the way, even though I've done 32 appearances, in 40 more minutes, only more than your guy, had a better GA than what your guy did in his own league, what he did in Atalanta. So you can see the 32 games, but he only played 1,800 minutes. So what now?
So what
So
I'm
that means-
saying,
So what now then,
you're
George? With nine
comparing
starts- nine-
Hojlund,
by the way,
you're
not a lot of
comparing
starts,
a
and look,
marquee
what-
signing to
I'm just saying.
our youngster,
can I
that
just-
is not even going
Well,
to
you know
play
when you're
probably a
doing the
Premier League
minutes,
minute
bro,
next season.
Your brother, you can't even play Jed Spence, another youngster who's clearly your best wing back, bruv. And yet you don't even play the guy. Who said you're gonna play this Velis guy? He might even go on loan.
He's
to
probably
someone
not
like
going to play. That's my point, mate. That's my exact point. He's probably not going to play.
Don't compare.
I never compared them. You compared them. That's how down bad you are, bro. That's what I'm saying.
I'm done.
You should be you should be comparing this guy to Darwin Nunes. Compare him to Darwin Nunes or
I was
someone.
just about to say, Kaz, you know, if you want to do the minutes thing, can we apply that to Nunes as well? Like when you want to
Yeah,
do
it's
have
hot, it's
minutes played and that, can we do
Yeah,
that for
yeah,
Nunes?
yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
saying.
Yeah, we can, but no one said nothing about Nunes. So your teams are relevant, just like your fan base. But other than that,
Mine or George?
no, both yours.
No,
Can't
way,
even find
never.
Rasmus Hojlund on
Never.
flipping Squawker, to be fair.
To be fair, Daps, you're awful at spelling. So I
No,
would
it's
not-
because he's
I'm
got that
actually
weird.
looking
It's
at
because I
Hojlund's
think it's
stats.
because
So
he's.
what I'm seeing is
it's
10
'cause he's got the
goals
line
in
through the O.
34 games. 10
Yeah.
goals and 2 assists in 34 games across the Serie A and the
Anyways,
Coppa Italia.
George, so what,
So, yeah,
what
we
would
can
you
look at the minutes.
consider for someone who's 20 years old? They paid
The same
64 million
age.
plus 8. What do you consider a good season?
Oh no,
for Hojlund?
I do consider that he's a young
No,
player.
no, no,
This is
no, no, no. I just straight question. What would you consider a good season for him if he starts week in, week out?
again, wait, I'm not, I don't get what you're saying. I've never said that he's a bad player. This is what we're not doing. I've never said. I said that he's not going to come in and be the player that Manchester United fans think he's going to be. As you said, wait, Mo, he's 20 years old. He's a player that still has a lot. He has a lot of learning to do. He
Yep.
still has a lot of kinks in his armor. He's still's got to iron out a few creases. He's still not a polished player. He's still going to need 2 to 3 seasons to become a bit more polished. But let's be real, strikers, they become their best when they get a bit older, around 25, 26. He's not a pacey player, so he's not going to thrive off being a bit younger, a bit quicker, and a bit more. He's,
Let him finish. It's just because I want
wait, he's pacey, but he's not. We're not talking about Haaland. We're not talking
I've
about.
watched Hojlund. I've watched Hojlund. Whatever, man. Hojlund.
We're
You
not
said
talking
he's
about
he's
a
a
player
bit
of
pacey,
extreme-
but what?
We're not
So he's
talking
not a
about a
pacey
player of
player.
extreme
He's not a
pace. I
pacey
don't
player.
see him.
And you
thriving.
know
Mo's
he
just
is-
waited. Mo's waited.
My man, I asked you a straight question and you kept like doing this. You know, when you're in a bakery, with the guys that keep doing this with the pizza.
What did you say? You
Just
said
ask
what's
me-
a good
asking-
season?
you-
I'm not. There's no
Exactly.
specific
I
amount of
asked
goals.
you.
That's a good
I
season.
asked you,
There's
George.
no
I asked you a
specific amount of
specific.
goals.
I
You never
okay, so-
said. You never said what's a good amount. You never said goals.
Okay, I said,
assists.
what
don't-
would
I'm
you
not gonna give
consider a good season for someone, a marquee signing, 20 years old? If for you, in your opinion, if he's in your squad,
Again, if we're talking about good players, there is no specific amount of goals. You can't put in amount of
Range,
saying,
put me,
this
give me a
amount of goals.
range because he's a striker. His main job is to
You
put the ball
can't
in the
though,
back
because
of the net.
there's players that don't score as many goals. You can
Let
say
me
are
answer
massive
that.
talent.
If he gets 20
Alexander
GA,
Isaac, let's
he's
be
gonna
real.
be
Alexander
okay.
Isaac never scored high amount of goals, but you could see that he was a huge talent.
'cause
And
he's
since he's
injured.
come to Newcastle, he started to prove
Yeah.
that he's a huge talent in the making. It's not
So
all about
if
the
he
goals that you
gets, so
score.
if he gets a 20 GA, would that be okay for the season for him?
If he got a 20 GA, that would be a huge
Okay.
amount for his first Premier League season, and that would be him exceeding probably expectations and a lot of people put on him.
My expectation for Hojlund, to be honest, is for him to get between 12 and 15 goals if he starts week in and week out and at least have 5 assists. That's my expectations for him. It's the same for me as Jackson if he starts week in, week out. And I think that's a very good output for someone who's 20
It is.
years
And
old.
would you say that a lot of youngsters do that in the Premier League?
Not a lot of youngsters, of course.
And that's
Not
my point.
a
So
lot.
not many players do that. Not many players do that in the Premier League. If you look at that range between, let's say, 14 and 20 goals, there's probably about 6 or 7 players that get that every season. A lot of players don't get that amount. A lot of players hover around that like 9 to 12, and that's not a good
Yeah.
amount for a striker. Let's be
So
real. He's
I'm
just got around
expecting him to
11.
do that. I'm expecting him to do that based on what I watched from him. I'm expecting Hojlund, if he starts week in, week out, of course they bought an injured player, which is another thing that we can talk about on the side. But I'm expecting from 12 to 15 goals. That's a very decent output for someone who's 20 years old. Not everybody's gonna be Haaland and score.
Are we talking about all comps? Or are we talking about in the Premier?
No, I'm talking about the
Talking about
Premier,
Prem.
man. I'm talking
Sorry,
about the Premier.
can I just real quick? I've just done a random thing on Squawker, right? And I do it per 90 because I think it's fair. Because one of the things we're talking about is games played and whatever. And I just thought, you know what? Let me pick. I picked Hojlund, Darwin Núñez, Richarlison, and Nicholas Jackson. By the way, I put through Nicholas
Richarlison
Jackson in
shouldn't
there.
be in this list, by the
Hold
way.
on. Right, so let me
highly-
hold on. So let me just firstly say the goals ratio. So Hojlund's on 0.5 per 90, Núñez 0.5 per 90, Nicholas Jackson 0.7 per 90. By the way, this is last season in the league they're in, and Richarlison is on
Don's happy.
0.1. 0.1.
Again, I don't get it.
Hold on,
I've never said that I was backing Richarlison. You're trying to throw him my way and be like, yeah.
No, you
back
did
him.
say he was ahead of your fourth choice younger. He said
But I never said that I was going to back him. I never threw him into this conversation.
No, I'm just saying, you know,
strikers.
don't throw
So what
stones
you're
if you live
doing
in
now is
glass
you're clutching
houses.
at straws and you're trying to make me look bad when I can't defend this guy. I never said I
I'm just
would,
giving
so
you. I'm not trying to
you
make
can
anyone
throw
look
out the
bad.
stats all
I'm
you want,
just.
but I'm not defending Richarlison.
Listen, I'm not trying to make anyone look bad, Jordan. I'm just saying some facts. Now, what people do with those facts is up to them. Like, and
Do you know
the
what?
opinions
I
they
hear
make is up to them.
what George is saying though, because I've seen a lot of United fans overrating Hojlund. Like they're talking about him as if he's a finished article.
What, like you did Colwell.
I've seen Colwell in this league. I've seen Colwell in this.
It's not that
league.
Andre.
Do you know what's so funny though? Do you know what's so funny? When he's starting for England and all you lot start bigging him up, I'm gonna go back to yesterday's stream. That's all I'm gonna say. I know a good player when I see one. Yeah, I know a good player when I see one. So
obviously you're gonna back your club in that. But Angelo Gabriel, Caicedo, you're speaking about these players.
Santos is ready.
No, bro. Hold on a second. Wait.
Thank you,
let's stop it right there because when it came to Caicedo, what I said is he needs to go out on loan because Carney looks more refined than him. Angelo Gabriel, I said he looks more comfortable on the board than Sterling.
You said he looks ready to play. You said he's ready to play Premier League football.
You did.
You said that
Caicedo, yeah, he is ready. He is ready to. No, he is ready to play. He is ready. Wait, hold on. Caicedo is ready to play. Caicedo is ready to play Premier League football on a loan. But like I said, I would rather keep Carney. Carney's more refined right now. Angelo Gabriel has looked miles better than Raheem Sterling. I'll be happy to keep
Is
it.
that not overrating?
I didn't overrate. How did I overrate him if I'm just talking about what I've seen from him?
He's ready to play Prem football. That's pretty much overrating their abilities.
But bro, he's played over. He's had more than enough senior apps
It doesn't
in
matter.
Brazil. He's been playing for Santos, bro. Men's football. It does matter.
bro.
It does matter. It's men's football.
It doesn't
It's
matter.
men's
It
football,
doesn't
bro.
matter.
So wait,
you're not what league you're in no more, yeah? Because that's what we like.
No,
to do.
of course it does. Of course it does. But what I'm saying is, from what I've seen of him and the fact that he's already been playing men's football, I trust that he can do a job in the Prem. Obviously, he's probably going to go out on loan.
Don, when they spoke about Hojlund just about 2 minutes ago, what you said, your response was one response, but I have seen Colwell in the Premier League. So
But
your response to Hojlund,
Yeah.
but Colwell been in the Premier League. But when we talk about your players, you say, but they play men's football somewhere else. So
But
you
wait,
change.
No,
when
the
we talk
point.
about other players.
No. Hold on.
You
We're not doing that.
literally
We're not
said that
can
we're
have
not
it
doing that. We're not doing that. We're not
Oh,
doing
no,
that. Hold on.
we are doing
Your
that.
point.
We are
Wait.
doing
There's
You lot's
content.
point.
No,
You
no,
lot's
there's
point. You
content.
lot's point was that I overrated.
I know
these players,
you're a
when I
very
haven't
reasonable
overrated these
person.
players.
I know you as a reasonable person. So don't
Yes.
change the judgment on a player because he's your player, but other players
But-
haven't seen them in the Prem.
Where did I say
Literally,
Hojlund
I
isn't
tell
ready?
you,
But wait,
when
hold on.
Yeah.
Where did I say Hojlund isn't ready for the Prem? Or did I not say
when
that they're
When
overrated?
Cass said and Daps told you about Colwell, you literally responded to Daps and said, "But I've seen Colwell in the Prem." That means you judge a player because he played in the Prem. Isn't that right?
No. What Daps said I'm overrating Colwell, and I said I'm not overrating Colwell. I've watched enough of Colwell to know that he's a
In
top
the
player.
Prem, you said in the Prem.
Okay, Mo,
Yes.
but let's wait, Mo.
But wait,
This
Mo,
makes
I don't get.
sense.
Wait, Mo,
I'm
hold
not
on.
calling. I'm just saying.
You're not
that
understanding
if
what I'm
he's
saying,
gonna-
bro.
If he's
You're not
gonna
listening.
judge, if he's gonna judge Santos playing in Brazil, it's the same if we judge Hojlund playing in Italy.
But Mo, you're missing the point, bro.
Yeah.
That's just literally said that I'm overrating my players, and Rom's basically said the same thing. And I'm arguing that I'm not overrating my players. I've seen enough of Levi Colwell to rate him.
I didn't
So
actually say
I
that,
didn't say
by the way.
Colwell. I didn't say Colwell. Oh, Rom said it. Rom said it. Then Rom said, yeah, Rom.
You said it, but you said
said
this
it.
though.
Someone
You
said
said
I'm- someone said-
Man United fans. You said Man United fans are already overrating Hojlund, but is that not exactly what you're doing then? Because you've seen a guy like Andre Santos play some men's football in Brazil.
You haven't. But hold on. I'm judging Santos. There's a difference here. You guys haven't even seen Hojlund put on the top for you guys. You're going off of clips. I've actually seen Santos in pre-season, and from what I've seen of him in pre-season, he is ready to be an understudy for Caicedo.
Wait,
He is ready to be an understudy for Caicedo. I don't mind seeing him.
Hold on, you haven't
As an
got
understudy for
Caicedo yet.
Caicedo.
Calm down. Calm down with this Caicedo.
Listen,
you
that one's round the corner. The thing is, yeah, I don't get this thing of I'm overrating my players, because I haven't overrated any of my players. I rate Levi Colwell, but I'm not calling him world class. I rate what I've seen of Angelo Gabriel.
You did yesterday.
You see?
I'm not even
You
speaking
see?
about Santos. I'm speaking about Angelo Gabriel. Me and you spoke off air about 3 weeks ago, yeah.
Yep.
And you said you think he's ready to play, not start for Chelsea, but you said he's ready
Yep.
to play for Chelsea off a pre-season. For me,
Yes,
that's
I do.
overrating a bit, because you can't base that off just a pre-season. To play at Chelsea off a pre-season, I don't know.
But
hold on,
you
Roms.
feel that you're overrating him.
So wait. Why can't I say a player that's just come in has got a lot of experience playing men's football for Santos, by the way, starting for them week in, week out. Why can't I say that from what I've seen of pre-season, he's been levels above Sterling, by the way? Why can't I say I feel that he'll be ready to come into the Premier League and do a job for us?
So Don,
why can't I say that?
Don, you just said that you're not saying that they're world class yet.
100k a week for one of the best left centre backs in world football right now. That's nothing, bro. When did I call him world class?
All right, so you
Where did
said
I call
one.
him
All
world
right,
class?
so hold on.
One of
So
the
you
best in
said
world class.
one of the best left centre backs in world football.
And listen, me and Daps have gone back and forth about this. I clarified what I said. I said young. I said centre backs at first. Then I clarified what I meant.
You
But
got
anyway,
caught.
going back.
You got caught. So
Going
you
back to
said
the
you're
point,
sorry.
go-
If you're
hold
sorry,
on,
don't
hold
do
on,
it in
hold
the
on,
first
hold on.
place.
We're not doing that. Angelo Gabriel, from what I've seen of him, and like I said, in comparison to Raheem Sterling, who Raheem Sterling is going to go into the Prem, he has been levels above him in
Top 10
pre-season.
wingers in
I'm
Premier
not
League
saying Angelo
history.
Gabriel's gonna come in and score 30 goals. I've never said that. All I said is I would like to see him get an opportunity to play in the Prem, because I feel like he's ready. I feel like from what I've seen, he's ready. That doesn't mean I'm overrating my players. That doesn't mean that.
Let's move it on a little bit. I'm gonna move it on because it's boring. Hojlund is elite. Sad he chose to retire this early because he's injured.
Yes.
And then Darren Ingram says, "Come on, people, hit the like button. If you haven't done so at the moment, I think there's 700 of you in here, and there are 152 likes. As someone would say, are you taking the piss? Giving you free content on a Sunday afternoon, everyone's waking up and stuff like that. So if you don't mind liking the video, if you haven't done so, it's just a friendly reminder. It boosts the video and does wonders. So big up to everyone that has done so, and I'm not bigging up anyone that hasn't. So Don, yet again, moving like Caicedo, press resistant, because he's been left out of the, he's been left out of the Brighton squad today, if I'm correct. So he's not in the squad, he's not playing. And also on top of that, Andre Santos might not even get minutes this season, because you're looking at someone else called Tyler Adams, and that is separate from the Caicedo stuff. So you might be getting two DMs for the great price of 120 million. What are you saying, man? This month, I kind of I rate Tyler Adams personally. By the way, I rated him before he went Leeds. I can't judge him at Leeds. A lot of people want to judge people at the clubs they are at. Like, if we're going to say that, then Wijnaldum was garbage. Then Robertson was garbage, or people like that. Even when Harry Maguire,
Wijnaldum at Newcastle was decent.
yeah, but I'm not saying he is. I'm just saying
Calvin Phillips is elite.
I'm just going to say if you're going to base off that logic, then it's kind of poor.
You know what, Cass? You touch on a good point. Like, for me, I didn't watch much of Tyler Adams last season. I think apart from the games when we played Leeds, I didn't watch much of him. But I had a look at his stats from last season, and tackling and defensively, they look really good, in all honesty. And obviously 20 million, it isn't bad value for money. But the main concern that I've got, I was mentioning this the other day, was that where we've only got one game a week, I know you need to rotate. I know, injuries can happen. I'm just a bit skeptical about bringing him in, because what does that mean for Santos? Do you know what I mean? Realistically, how much game time is he going to get? If we can't promise him, if we can't promise him as much game time as, I wouldn't say that, but Tyler Adams obviously is Premier League proven. Do you know what I'm saying? That's the main difference here. So he's a bit further in his development. So how I'm looking at it right now is that, look, if we're going to bring in Tyler Adams, I still expect Santos to get a huge share of the minutes somehow, whether that's cup competitions or, coming on after 70 minutes or whatever, because there's no point in keeping Santos if we're not going to give him the game time. I'd rather him develop elsewhere if that's going to be the case. So that's the main concern that I've got. How much game time is Santos going to get if we bring in Tyler Adams?
If there's something that you're missing, though, I think anyone just jump in after I make this statement. One thing I think Chelsea lack is a bit of brute strength and a bit of a dog. And I think Tyler Adams is that player. And also as an option, let's say you want to lock up a game. Tyler Adams, Caicedo, lock up the game, put someone that's got high energy, maybe even Gallagher in attacking mid, and just run them to the ground, and defend it to the very end, right? I think it's a decent. I think for 20 million as also a release clause for me is a no-brainer. And before he went Leeds, I was highly rating this guy. Leeds had a garbage squad, by the way, and a garbage manager, and about 3 or 4 games. I think, and the only thing is, I know he had a bit of an injury season, but that's not. Can't really judge him off that. And I think it's just a good signing. I think that's shrewd business from Chelsea.
Yeah, I think it makes sense. The signing definitely makes sense. But yeah, for me, the main concern is Santos. Like, what's going to happen with him? I think he can play further up. I think he can play further up. I do think he can. Yeah, I think he can play further up as an 8. In all honesty, I think he's got the qualities to do it. So maybe that would be the plan for him. You could move him further up.
Not just the 8, but you're paying double. Wait, who said this? What?
So I'm just doing a quick whack to few. So are we saying Tyler Adams, Lavia, and Amrabat playing similar-ish positions?
Wait, who? Tyler Adams, Amrabat, and
That's on this comparison.
Lavia.
Lavia. Yeah. You could say.
Woo! Tyler Adams elite compared to them, man. God damn, like on duels contested, tackles made, clearances, interceptions, and blocks. Neither of the other two have green on anything.
He's up there.
Anything.
What website do you use, Daps? What website do you use?
Squawker.
But the stats are deceiving because there's a good reason why David Raya has faced a lot of shots is because he's in a team the way he is. Tyler Adams was at Leeds. All these were doing most of the season were defending anyways because
imagine
going forward.
I'm going to try and put in
still a good sign.
I'm going to put in some advanced stats as well to see if going forward he gets a bit.
What are you saying, Roms, though, man, or Jaws, man? You lot are quiet.
I was saying what you were saying about the dog thing. Well, Chelsea do have a dog. They just don't have a dog with quality in Gallagher. But I think Adams would be perfect for them. What's frustrating me is every player Chelsea linked with would be more equipped for us. That's what's frustrating. And the difference with Chelsea, they'll just pay up. But I think Adams, I like you, Kaz. I've been rating Adams. Leipzig days, the odd game. I'm not going to act like I watched him in Bundesliga, but from what I saw in certain Champions League game, it was decent. And at Leeds, I said even last summer I had Adams, and I think Adams would thrive in our midfield. But I think it'll be a great signing for Chelsea. We were linked with him, but not concrete links. It was just more interest, really.
Just James Pearce links.
Say that again.
Just James Pearce links, yeah.
I don't know if you lot saw the other day you got grilled in our press conference and Klopp and that all laughing.
Yeah, I saw him laughing at him. Yeah. He hates him, innit?
Yeah, it's not like James Pearce.
Big up Chelsea.
Klopp don't like many.
Big up Chelsea till I die in the comments as well. He said he makes a good point. He said Don Santos can be a rotation to Enzo. It's true. He could potentially be a rotation for Enzo.
And you got to think again. You play with a double pivot, meaning technically you need a DM that's got to be our clampers like your Caicedo and then what's his name, Tyler Adams, and you just rotate thingy. If Andre,
do you know what's funny though?
I wonder what Santos's ball carrying stats are like. I can't say I'm seeing mad amounts of him because I haven't.
What's Santos' name? I'll whack him in here as well.
Andre Santos. So you know what's funny about Santos here, Daps here. When I saw that we all linked him and I saw clips and that, I thought, okay, this guy looks like a box to box, midfielder. Like he looks like like an 8 sort of player. But when he's actually played in a 6, bro, defensively, this guy is good. His timing of the tackles is good. He gets stuck in. Do you know what I mean? And he's quite physical as well. That's something that surprised me in preseason. Like he's definitely he's not. I wouldn't call him like a destroyer, but he's a bit like a Lavia in a sense where he's able to hold his own in that position and get stuck in as well. So defensively, I'm not worried about him. That's why I wouldn't even mind him playing as a 6. But he could definitely progress play like an Enzo. The passing isn't as good as Enzo's, but he can definitely play.
This goes back to
man's putting him on Enzo levels there.
Nah, I'm not doing that.
Overrated levels. Oh,
I don't know that. Read it back up to early in the stream, but I hear you're saying from what you've seen of him in preseason. That, but again, preseason to a Premier League game where there's a bit more pressure and there's more scrutiny, and the minute you make a mistake, cool, it will happen. You have to expect it. Andre Santos is quite young, innit? One thing I will say,
19. I don't even think it's just that, though, is that
your preseason was against Premier League opposition, but the majority of your preseason. So
yeah,
in that sense, it's probably a good indicator. But if you make a mistake in preseason and whatnot, your fans aren't going to care that much. The crowd won't get onto him. The players won't. But in Premier League game, when there's more on the line, it will be a bit different. But like you said, if you feel you've seen enough from him, then I don't feel like they're only going to develop if you play them. So
exactly, this is the thing. This is exactly what I'm saying.
We can sit here. Like I've watched some of those Chelsea preseason games. I watched the one against Newcastle. The intensity of preseasons, it's just poor. You can see players aren't really up for the games. Even the way that I think, what was it, the Newcastle goal, the way Aaron Gordon just ran through your whole team, just breeze past players. They're just walking. Like for me,
I called him Aaron Gordon.
Aaron Gordon.
Anthony Gordon.
Anthony Gordon. Not Aaron Gordon. Yeah, no.
Aaron.
No, his name's Diana.
I was close.
Wait, hold tight, Aaron, and also hold tight, Charlotte. In it.
Hold tight, Princess Diana.
The thing is, yeah, like I get.
It's not a good example guys to use. And look, if we look at a player, I'm not going to sit here and say that he's not ready for Prem football. And I don't feel like you're wrong for saying that. Him being ready for Prem football and him being a good player, 2 different things. Because I feel like you need to bring in a player like Tyler Adams. Because, like I say, your midfield's your weakest areas. You need players with Premier League experience, and Pochettino especially. He's going to want players that are ready, that can come in and that can challenge. Then they're not going to want players because you've got a young team. You need some players with a bit more experience, and Tyler Adams brings that. Because let's be real, Caicedo, 21? Enzo Fernandez, he's 21, 22. You're going to have Gallagher, who's just about 23, 24. Chukwuemeka, Andre Santos. All these players are all like under 24 years old. So you need a bit more experience, and especially if that comes in the Premier League experience with a team like Leeds, it's going to
George, I hear that point, bro. But listen, you said it yourself the other day. You said it yourself for the top 6 the other day when we were on there. You criticized Chelsea for all these young players that we keep buying. Do you know what I'm saying? So right now we need to find a good balance of just not buying players and stockpiling players, bro. Like from what I've seen, like I said, Santos, what I've seen of him isn't the largest sample size, but I've seen enough to say, okay, do you know what? I want this guy to be given an opportunity to show me what he can do in the Prem. And I trust that he's in good hands with Poch right now. That's the main thing. I'm not saying Santos is going to come in there and start for us week in, week out. I don't want to see him start against Liverpool. That's for one. I don't want to see him start against Liverpool. I want to see Caicedo start.
Sorry, you know what the maddest thing is, yeah? Let me add this quick part, yeah? If that is going to be the case, if Andre Santos is this good and you got Caicedo, yeah, and you buy him, imagine he goes on loan back to Brighton and that's the deal that's going to happen. And he becomes this wicked player like Caicedo was in 1 year. Instantly.
We're not doing that again.
Wait. Instantly, he's probably going to want to leave. And you made a profit.
This is the thing. Like I said, the plan with him was always to have a look at him in pre-season. And as it stands, Poch has seen enough to say, do you know what? This guy can be given an opportunity to go into the first team. Like I said, Lavia, look at us. All the top 4 teams wanted this guy. And he's only played Premier League football for a season. Before that, he was obviously playing for City, but he only did it for a season. I know he was at Southampton, but he still had to prove a point. The difference with Santos is he hasn't had that Premier League experience. So sometimes with these players, you just have to give them the opportunity, bro. And then it's up to them whether they take it or not.
Yeah, but
sorry, can we just go back to addressing the
I want to add something, Daps. I'm sorry. Just the problem with I don't know this guy Santos, right? His first team games is just only 6 games in Brazil. Just 6 games.
No, he hasn't. He's got 49 appearances in Brazil.
I am looking at him. Andre Santos. He had
49 appearances for Vasco.
Yeah. in Serie B, bro. He played on the top division only 6 games. Before that, the 33 games are in Serie B. Okay, I'm not knocking him out. I watched him in the preseason. Looks okay.
I am.
That press resistance just
Okay.
dropped swiftly. I watched
I know
it.
you look. I'm
I
looking
watched
at
it
it.
go from your soul.
I'm listening to him. I'm listening to what he's got to say.
My argument is, if Chelsea spend that much money and you're building a team and you're getting Pochettino, I think it's too much risk to play a 19 years old now and rely on him. If you don't get a Tyler Adam, it's too much risk to go into the season and you might not make the Champions League. That would be too much risk. You have to have a Tyler Adam in there. You have to have a Paulinho in there. You have to have someone like that in there. You cannot just rely on hope. What you're doing in preseason is hope without any evidence to back it up. Even Liverpool fans, when they got Nunes, they had 30 goals in the season before to look at that and say, yeah, the hope is there. The evidence is there. The likes of Santos, the likes of what's the other guy's name that you said on the right side?
On
the right side.
Angelo
Gabriel. He looks good in the preseason, but playing in the Brazil, being an 18 years old, and putting it, you're basically getting everything and putting it on hope that a young players can play in the Prem and deliver week in, week out.
Mo, you're right.
Can be
Listen, Mo, you're right.
Rotation.
Yeah, you're right. You're right with what you're saying. Like I said, we're not going to depend on Santos. Santos, like I said, I don't mind seeing him as a bit of an understudy for Caicedo. Because what's going to happen is next season, when we start stockpiling these players and they can't break through, Chelsea are going to get criticized again. Now that we actually want to use these players that we're buying, it's, oh yeah, you need experience. We can't win either way. So for me, like I said, I've seen good indications from Santos again against Brighton. I know it's preseason. When he came off against Brighton, we were literally cut through the midfield. Newcastle held his own. Wrexham, I'm not really going to count them, but again, he played well there. I've seen indications that this is a good player, and with Poch and learning from players like Caicedo, he can get even better. That's how I'm kind of looking at it. That's how I'm looking at it right now.
I'm sorry.
So I don't want to. I want to stay away. I want to stay away from stockpiling because that was the big problem that we had under Roman. Now we need to actually give opportunities to these players.
I get what you're saying. Let me, guys, there is over 900 of you here. Please hit that like button. This is the bread and butter of this channel. When you like the button, the channel expands, goes to different viewers, so you get more people to watch with us. And let me do this super chat. Subu Ninan is saying, great content, guys, watching all the way from New Zealand. Bigger people. So everybody in the chat now, everybody in the chat, can you please let me know where are you tuning from? Just the country where you are tuning from. I'd really love this to know where our audience from. Just your country. Everybody spam the chat that one time with your content. So maybe all this buying. Oh, go ahead.
Hold on. So I just
fully hear you. I fully hear you. Well,
I just. So George, what you mentioned in the group chat, yeah, you're right. So I've just changed it to include only the leagues, and it only changed one little thing on blocks. But I'm just thinking, when I said about Tyler Adams' stats and how good defensively, and I've added advanced, and when you add the advanced elements, the advanced Amrabat comes out better than the other two advanced ones.
You can just see that they're different types of players. That's
100%. Like. But then so let's remove Amrabat and let's just go in with Tyler Adams at Leeds, right? And what someone said is, yeah, but that was playing for a Leeds team, right? That's played maybe a bit more of a low block and whatever else and defending more. But isn't that similar to how Southampton played? Yeah. Would you not say Leeds and Southampton kind of comparable in how they were playing, kind of a lot more defensive, having to defend a lot more last season? Yeah. So actually 100%. Comparing Tyler Adams and Lavia, yeah, and how defensive they were last season, it's not making Lavia look great. I'm not going to lie. And you're putting Lavia in, yeah, next to Alexander Trent, right, Roms? And based on the stats, and I know they're only stats, yeah, but it kind of look, and listen, you know, as a City fan, we've got a lot of time and a lot of love for Lavia, but one season at Southampton where defensive duties, Tyler Adams outshone him completely, yeah.
But does that not worry you, bro? With the calculator. This is why we don't watch football with a calculator, because everyone, it was clear to see from Lavia's first game, you could see the amount of talent he had. I watched the first game of the season.
Absolute talent.
I watched him for the first game of the season. He played against Tottenham. I was like, yeah, this is the player.
I'm talking about what Liverpool need him for, not talent. What Liverpool need him for.
Adams probably caters for us better than a Lavia. I'm with you, George. I'll still prefer Lavia
in the short term.
Yeah, but even
Oh,
in the
why? If they got
defensive-
have they got right in that case? Is that because
Even-
they've got a prime DM coming in the next 9 months or something? Why short term? Do that? Lavia's being brought
I
in.
just I don't think.
But
Adams
I think no,
is
because
gonna-
Daps. I think because obviously Adams off of last season in a defensive aspect probably had a better season than Lavia from what the stats are showing. But because there's not that much difference, plus Lavia has the talent, we would favour him more than Adams. But I get what you mean. For what we need right now,
yeah,
Adams is probably better. But I think in the talent aspect and also going forward, you probably want a player that can do a bit more.
Well, no. Sorry, don't.
It's
Going forward, Liverpool going forward are perfect.
No, but
changing.
the big difference is though is that when the difference is Lavia is going to be coming into a Liverpool team where he's going to be forced to play on the front foot, and let's be real, Lavia is a lot better than Tyler Adams is on the ball. He is a DM, so he's going to need to be focused a bit more defensively. But Lavia can develop his game defensively, and he's going to excel once Liverpool get the ball, which they're going to be on the ball more often.
Liverpool, but this is the thing: Liverpool don't have the time.
Having a player like Tyler Adams would make sense for Liverpool when he comes in off the bench every now and then in games where they're not going to be having the ball. They're going to be playing top teams. They're going to be on the back foot. But that's going to happen.
But you're saying, hold on. You're saying that it's fine because he comes in and he has time to develop defensively. Right now at Liverpool, no, he doesn't. He's being put alongside.
They're playing Europa League. They're not playing Champions League. They do have time to develop. He's not going to be
no,
forced.
But the expectation is still whether we challenge or not. But the expectation is to challenge. Whether that happens or not, we'll see. But that is the expectation. So that's is right. It's not where you can just come in and go through the motions, whatnot. Obviously, if you know ball, I'm expecting Lavia to make a few mistakes, have 3 or 4 bad games because he is young. When that happens, of course, people are going to get onto him. It's just how we are as football fans. I'm expecting that to happen, but like Dap said, where the expectation is different, it could be to our detriment. Them 3-4 games could be the difference in us not reaching our objective. So I understand both points. To be fair.
What would be good? What would be good would be getting Lavia and Adams, getting two of them. That would be good.
Listen, Dom, I've been saying this from the start of the window. I'd love to, but by the time this window ends, I think we're only going to get one. And my personal opinion on our window going forward is we're just going to get Lavia.
I don't think we're going to get. You know, Lavia had picked up a few injuries last season. If he gets injured, right, as your starter, who comes in for him?
You have Curtis Jones, bro. You have Curtis Jones. How dare you?
Curtis Jones as the deepest midfielder.
I'm not being funny, yeah.
You look comfortable,
guy, yeah.
I think George might have misunderstood the question a little bit as well, because when we're talking, the whole point of talking Lavia is like you're talking about what he can become. We're talking about what Liverpool need right now, instead of what they can become.
I still said what he is right now. Going forward, he's going to bring a lot more right now.
They don't need that though, bro. They don't need that.
You still need to be able to be progressive on the ball. You can't just be able to
on the pitch. Let me ask: going forward on the pitch or going forward?
Late cast finish.
Yeah, Jules, going forward on the pitch or going forward in general?
We're going forward on the pitch.
So on the pitch, they've already got Szoboszlai, who's more of the attacking mid. McAllister's already
Trent next to him. Trent next to him.
I get that.
George, in our prime, Fabinho didn't have to be forward thinking. He had it in his locker, but it was a bonus. He didn't actually have to do that. He was just our soul destroyer.
I understand
that Adams. Go on.
I just don't get Lavia. When you got someone like Bajcetic and all you Liverpool fans love him so much, why do you need another youngster to be next to another youngster?
I'm not really hearing that because, bro, when other teams have quality players and in depth, because, bro, why just because we have we can't get Lavia? Why can't they compete? Why can't they compete?
No, I'm not saying that, but why can't you go get a proper experience and then keep the Bajcetic? Then you don't need. You can go. We talk about you want Tyler Adams, yes or no?
Yes, I've been.
So why do you need? Wait. So why do you need 3 6s then?
Well, sign of the devil.
If one comes out, CJ's not good enough in the 6. Trent, for me, I've been screaming, is not good enough in the 6. We don't have enough depth for that.
No one has 3 6s, bro. Jorginho's reportedly about to leave anyways. Like, everyone has 2 6s, more or less. Or someone else, if they are going to play there, it's because it's more of a backup situation. It's really rare that 2 6s get injured at the same time as well, in the same capacity. That's what I'm trying to say. If Bajcetic is this great guy and great talent, you don't really need Lavia if you want to go get a ready like Tyler.
The reason why these 3 specific 6s would be good because 2 are very injury prone. So it does make sense from that.
Do you know what, Drums? Do you know how old is Tyler Adams?
24.
25 or
24. It's
24.
24.
You know, he played in Leipzig in the Champions League before. You know, he played in the Bundesliga,
Yeah.
challenge for the Bundesliga.
That's where I first.
The fact that he went to Leeds and he went to a Leeds that was shambles, and the second season after Bielsa, and then after that, he went with the American guy. That doesn't take away from what he did just a year ago or 2 years ago when he was at Leipzig for years. I think Tyler Adams, his ceiling isn't what we've seen. He's only 24. He plays on the Jurgen club. I think he can become something like a very, very good DM for you. Why you're like, because he played for Leeds. So he's coming from a top team in Germany. Very good team in Germany.
USA as well.
Yes, he's
the only thing with them. The only thing though, the dynamic at Liverpool. Yeah, like I've got Tyler Adams' injury record right now in front of me, and it's not looking good. Do you know what I mean? It's not looking good. So if they were to bring in Tyler Adams, they would have to bring in Lavia as well. They can't depend on Tyler Adams because because with us, it's a look. Let me just finish my point, Romsey. Let me just finish my point on Tyler Adams, because the difference with Chelsea going for Adams and the difference with Liverpool going for Adams is we don't need to start him. Do you know what I mean? If we bring in a Caicedo, Adams is there for squad depth. Whereas Liverpool, they need to depend on him. So if they lose him, they're back to Bakitic or what's his name? You're saying the other guy, what's his name? The guy that Mo said. Not Lavia, sorry. I forgot his name. Curtis Jones. If you can't play Curtis Jones as the deepest midfielder, do you know what I mean? That's the big risk.
I'm sorry, Rons, before you do that, guys. There's 1,000 people here. Hit that like button for me. Also, check out our 2 tiers of membership in the description. Also, go to the channel. It's 2 tiers of membership. One of them, you'll get to be on a panel with us for once a week. You get a chance. And the second one, you get 3 chances to be in an hour show with us. Also, other props as well. A lot of things. A raffle, free merchandise, a raffle for something. And it's a great membership. Like the second one, you get more WhatsApp group with us, a private WhatsApp group. So check that out and hit that like button for us. We need to get 500 likes to get this video going to other people so they can come and chat shit to us in the chat, of course. And Kingsley Tom is saying, didn't Chelsea get top 4 with Fat Frank with a young squad and a transfer ban?
Bring him back.
Yes or no, Don?
They also got 12 with him.
Premier League.
We did,
got 12 with him. Different Premier League, man.
Bring him back.
We did, yeah, but exactly the competition back then wasn't the way it is now.
Thank you so much for the super chat.
Fat Frank is proper 12.
Yeah. Thanks for the super chat. Niak 24 is saying there is a hope and then there is intrigue. Most Chelsea fans are intrigued about what these kids could potentially do this season, not a blind hopefulness. I never said that. I think it's too much risk. But yeah, I get what you're saying. You want to see these players.
I would fully get what you're saying about Santos if I was saying start him in the Prem. Then you can say that's hoping. But what I'm saying is having him in and around the squad and coming in and having minutes, cut competitions. There's nothing wrong with that, bro. Because
you're saying he's not ready to
I just have a caveat to that. The difference between when Rico Lewis played for Man City, he looked like he is within a machine that is already working. So it was ready for him to come in and do his job. Your machine isn't working yet. When you get that working, you can integrate a young player here and there to get minutes. But even Caicedo, he comes for you out of 1 season. He will need to get integrated in the squad with Enzo, with everybody else.
That's the same for any player that's even Premier League proven as well.
Yeah, but a Premier League proven player will have more chance to quickly get integrated in the squad and get going.
I would disagree with that though, because look at Declan Rice. From what you've seen of Declan Rice, I haven't been fully impressed with him, to be honest. And he's been playing the Premier League
90 minutes in preseason.
But you're saying that if they're Premier League proven, then they're gonna adapt quicker. But what I'm saying to you is that's not necessarily the same for every single player. Every player is different. It's
absolutely 100%. But I'm comparing chances. You know what I mean? Like, yes, I get what you're saying.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Let's risk. Yeah. I get that.
Young players, Daliso Setol is saying, young players need experience around them in order to develop, which is what we're saying. Lavia, with too much responsibility at such a young age, will stifle his development. We agree. We agree with you. Thanks so much for the super chat. I
disagree on that part. Yes and no, because you got to look at it 2 ways. Yes, it might be too much responsibility, but then again, he might take to it as well. You got to play both sides.
Yeah, absolutely.
The best young players will take up the responsibility.
The one thing I've been very consistent with on Lavia is that it's a risk, right? And I'd also say the same with some of the young players Chelsea are getting. It's a risk. I'm not saying they're going to fail. No, I can't say on any young player that's coming in that they are going to fail, right? I just think it's a risk. And with Lavia at Liverpool, for me, is an even bigger risk now that they've got rid of Fabinho, now that they've got rid of Henderson, now that they've got rid of Milner, that there's no experience there. Going forward, they have everything they need going forward. Everything. It's just... even down to the fact when Trent inverts going forward, that's going to help them massively. But we've already seen it with Trent inverting. It is a risk. And that's the thing with Lavia. Lavia's got no experience next to him in the reading of the game defensively.
Just to answer someone in the comments, it's further up now, but big up Angel, because she was like, oh, how are you saying Trent's not good enough when he's been playing an inverted role? I've said this for months now. Our last 10 games of last season, against lesser opposition, they were letting us have the ball. The 2 games they didn't, which was Arsenal in the first half, they swarmed us. They completely obliterated us. Villa, when Kamara and Douglas Luiz swarmed him, we struggled. We dropped points in that game. The evidence is there. When teams don't let us have the ball and they swarm Trent, he's not comfortable in that position. On the flip side, I get it. If you want him to develop in that position, you have to play him there. You have to stick there. But then Klopp's come out and said, oh, he's going to revert back to type and put Trent right back anyway. So there's no real point.
I like this comment, so I put it up. Sorry, I think that's spot on. Like the button, you freeloaders. Rent is due.
For real.
Yeah, but a happy Independence Day to Jamaica.
Oh, is it? Happy
Big up,
Independence Day.
man.
Independence is a beautiful thing.
Hold on.
Big up, man.
Am I seeing Man City eye Brighton raid for Mitoma?
Yeah, I saw that earlier.
I saw that from the Sun, man. I don't know how much.
Hold on, say that again. Say that again, George.
Big up the Jamaican woman in the World Cup for knocking out Brazil.
Which one? The light or the other one?
I'll say it again. Big up every single Jamaican female.
One of them young, like 17 young, and like, you know what I mean? Another one's like 22 and she is absolutely buff.
Oh. Anyway, listen, yeah, Mitoma, City. It's mad because we spoke on this a couple of months ago when he was cooking a bit more for Brighton. I was like, do you know what? I'd take him. And I do think there is that element that, you know, we'll go and get is he Japanese? He is, isn't he?
Yeah.
It's kind of a market that we're trying to delve into at the moment. He's exciting. It's just whether he'd come or not, whether he'd think he's going to be a starter at City or not.
I don't think he cares.
Can he play on the right? Can he play on the right?
Look, I'm not here
I've never seen him play on the right, to be honest.
Yeah, no. He's not. He's definitely not right side of player.
Right,
but...
so Grealish, so what? We're going to switch Grealish?
No, it just means Grealish gets a bit of a rest sometimes.
I don't think it's going to happen. I feel
different
like
style of play, so different, bro.
Yeah.
I feel like...
No, but you say that, but you remember Jeremy Doku, and he's a direct player, just like Matoma.
But on what side?
The thing about Mitoma, do you know what it is about Mitoma, Daps? Yeah, like he's very direct, but at the same time, he can retain the ball as well. It's hard to get the ball off of him. So,
I just look for me is that I look at City and I look at the balance and how it is at the moment, and the balance is that on the left we have more of the control, right, and on the right, when we've needed it with Mahrez, the right has been the side that, you know, has been a bit more direct. If we're going to bring in Mitoma, then that would then mean, right, if we're going to have someone that little bit more direct on the left, because what Pep likes is the balance, to have one on one side that can be a bit more direct. If he's going to do that, and put Mitoma there, I'm just working it out in my head right now.
Mitoma at City would be silly. It would be so silly.
I think Mitoma would definitely
be ridiculous.
I don't feel like it would be.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
The amount of goals Hojlund will be getting, the amount of tap-ins, because what he does, is he does this little drop of the shoulder, byline, and he just chops it back. Chops it back every time. Hojlund will be eating.
You know, that's
Sterling at his best.
He got about 3-4 assists the last season alone just by doing that. Byline, drop the shoulder, cut back. He loves it.
And he's got the technical ability. Let's not forget what he done to Gomez. Do you know what I mean? Gomez was twerking live ball. Mitoma will be. Mitoma would be top for Man City. I can't lie. I wouldn't want to see that.
I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll see.
I just think whoever.
I don't feel like it's the price they're saying though. They're definitely going to want more than 50.
Like that said many times, because when you've got Pep, they just trust whoever they buy. It's just most likely 9 times out of 10 will work. And Mitoma, your blind man can see you all work.
See, I'm seeing old Fraser saying Enciso for you, but for me, Enciso, his sample size is way too small for me to. And I think if Enciso comes to City, being honest with you at the moment, it could be a hindrance on his future because he's not going to come in and instantly work his way into this City squad to get enough games.
I actually have an idea about this.
But Perón's more of a Perón's more of a midfielder, bro. He's not.
Enciso's a midfielder
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. I think they're different.
Yeah, Enciso's not. I want to see him cook up right.
What Mitoma offers at City is something that they don't have as a moment, which is flair on the wings, that Mahrez flair, the one-on-one. Bernardo Silva is great in moving between the lines, the 1-2s and all these stuff, but someone to take you one-on-one against a defender and dribble and create space for themselves, they don't have that. It was Mahrez. You remember Mahrez off the bench, like comes in one-on-one, will destroy your fullback. They will put your fullback on their asses. You know what I mean? Mitoma does that. No. They don't have that at the moment. No, other than even Foden, by the way,
someone's saying in the comments.
Do you think Grealish is capable of that?
No, he isn't.
Not anymore. I feel like
it's not. Sorry. Let me answer that. So I don't come out like across. Grealish, it's either he's not capable of it or he's asked not to do it. Okay, I don't know. I'm not in the. I'm not.
Do you feel like?
But he doesn't do it. You know what I mean? He doesn't.
Yeah. But basically, what it is, I get what Mo's saying because with Grealish, I feel like when he was at Villa, he was the guy that would take the risks and just get the free roll. But at City, he's kind of rolled it in a little bit. I've seen it more last season, in all honesty. But I feel like the way Mitoma plays the game, he's going to do it regardless. He's going to try and beat his man every single time regardless. Do you know what I mean? Whereas with Grealish, he's more about retaining the ball, keeping the ball moving.
Yeah. Bernardo is the same, right? Bernardo does the same. Bernardo passes inside, gets De Bruyne involved. Mahrez wasn't. Mahrez was getting the ball. If there's a chance to dribble someone 1-on-1, he was like, I'll take that.
I personally feel like you're still missing that direct winger, that player like Sane. Since Sane is gone, you haven't had that player would have just.
No, we haven't.
They don't need that, George, because they have a forward that does that.
I know why people don't think they need it because Pep has sort of dumbed down the game and just sort of types of players. But if you're looking at players like Jeremy Doku, it clearly shows that they want a player like that. Because Jeremy Doku,
sorry, can I just?
He's not going to play the way that City are going to play.
So I have it under quite good inside information. Quite good that there's one player that City will want. There's one player that City are saying is the one they really want, and that is Olise. Like that's apparently he's the one that Pep is like.
Don't do that. Greasy's going to have a monologue now.
No, bro, it is what it is, yeah? And I'm hearing this off of someone that does get good information, right? So he's the one we want. They are looking at others, but it's kind of, they weren't sure if Mara was going to go. So that he's the one they want, but they know they've got competition there. So, yeah, but he is
you want him.
He's the one that Pep wants. He's the one, and I'm telling you, that's what I've heard, that he is the one that Pep has seen.
You alluded to it. In the stream a couple days ago, right? I've got a cousin that knows Olise's brother, and you touched on it. You know, them two don't really like ball. It's just a job for them. Like they don't live and breathe ball. And you mentioned this the other day. Pep would probably want someone to come in that studies the game, that loves and breathes the game, kind of thing. Does Olise fit the mentality of City? The talent's undoubted. I think we all rate Olise very highly. But in terms of that mentality to track back. Is he going to fit your?
Do you think he might lose himself in a big club? That's what I think. I feel like it might be
think of it like this year. What has him and Hojlund got in common? They hate the media and social media. He ain't distracted, bro. He's firm.
Hojlund hates the social media.
Bro, but he can't, bro. The guy. Have you ever heard him talk in front of camera and stuff?
He doesn't like interviews. Hojlund doesn't like interviews.
It's like the star that doesn't like that.
Interviews, but he loves the attention.
If you're
maybe I'm going off the Premier League.
If you're a young player, if you're a young player, right, and you go somewhere, like, let's just say you've gone from this club and you've just joined the next club, you went for a trial and you're going, oh, you're excited. You're major excited. You can't wait to impress. At least he knows where he's going to be. And I don't,
good old Chelsea. Good old Chelsea lot saying he prefers Chelsea based on what?
Guys. Harry Kane starts. And
there's reasons for both. There is reasons for both. To be honest with you, like if he picks City over us, I wouldn't be like, oh my gosh, why would he do that? And if he picked Chelsea over City, I don't think City fans would look at it and think, why would he go and do that? I think
Right.
If he picked Chelsea over City, you'd be calling him the best winger in the world.
Hold on. Can I ask you? There's someone in the comments.
Well,
Sorry,
Spurs
there's
are
someone.
taking the
Sorry.
piss, guys. You just went over your head. Harry Kane is
Sorry.
starting for Spurs, guys. In the
Yeah,
first
fully.
game.
Sorry, can I just
Yes,
ask? Mets
today,
has
that's
just
why-
said.
that's why-
Wallahi, they are
No,
taking the
it's-
piss,
he's
bro. Like,
And he's wearing the
Exactly.
captain
Look at
armband. And he's wearing the captain armband.
Wait,
Can
that's
I ask-
land.
Can I ask
I'm
Mets?
sorry, Dad.
So
I'm so
firstly,
apologies.
all these Chelsea fans that are saying he prefers Chelsea, right? We don't know that. Yeah. He hasn't come out and said, right, I could go to City or Chelsea and I prefer Chelsea. You're predicting he likes Chelsea because he came to your academy, right? But he also left, so we can't predict those things. But also, Mets, and I don't know who Mets supports. Firstly, you said the guy that told me that is lying. Okay, well, I don't believe he's a liar. He's someone that is known for having very good knowledge on the finances and many different things to do with Manchester City. He's got inside knowledge. Secondly, you're saying he's selling me a dream. Now, I don't know who Mets supports. Are you saying he's selling me a dream as in that City, that Mets, yeah, who's his
So I'm
support?
thinking the
Is
best.
that French league? French league was saying, isn't it?
Huh?
French league, innit?
I don't know,
Guys,
but what he said is, he said that
Bless bro.
whoever told me that is apparently selling me a dream, yeah? And what I want to know is, are you meaning selling me a dream that I think he's going to come to City, or selling me a dream that City think he is the most suited? Because I actually think he is the most suited to the way City plays. I think Olise is a pet type of player, more than some of the other ones.
Yeah, I'd say so.
He's definitely a direct replacement for Morris. 'Cause even when we had a conversation about Olise before Chelsea were even linked him, I said City should be looking at him. Then a week later, it came out that you guys were actually looking, and then to my surprise, I saw Chelsea were involved. I think he suits City, but I also think he would suit us as well, in all honesty.
So hold on. Don Olise is more of like a direct winger in terms of dribbling, but he's more of a crosser of the ball.
He's more of a creator, yeah.
Yes, a creator. So they have that in Grealish. They have that. I think Grealish can be a top creator. They have De Bruyne to do that. They have even Foden is more of a direct. Even Bernardo Silva can do that. The difference between him and the other
Big
direct.
Steve, by the way. Whoever's saying it's Big Steve, it's not Big Steve at all.
The only difference between him and other players like the likes of Kudus, Mitoma, is these players, they go to the goal trying to score the goal themselves. Olise, I think he will actually get Haaland even more, like 5 more assists, 7 more assists, but he suits them, but also he is not the goal scorer. He's not Riyad Mahrez, who scores a hat-trick in a game. You know what I mean?
But let's not. No, he can. That's what I'm saying. He can. But as it stands right now, Olise's biggest strength is his creativity. But he's still a young player. It doesn't mean that he can't bring in more goals into his game. Like last season, Crystal Palace literally went 4 games in a row with no shots on target, bro. Do you know what I mean? He was playing for one of the worst attacking teams last season.
I'm tired of this team. I'm tired of them, man. I'm actually
I wouldn't fully judge him because he's been at Palace. Do you know what I mean? 4 games in a row, no shots on goal, bro.
So,
by the way, and another thing, one last thing, just on a guy called Lucas in the comments who said rattled by something in the chat. No, what we do is the chat is you lot talking. I presume you talk because you want us to address what you're saying. So if I see something that I think, oh, let me ask a question back to you, is that us not interacting with you? Like, is that not what you want? It's not me being rattled. I wanted to get an understanding of what Mets was coming with. So we're going to continue to interact with you lot because I think that's what you lot want, right? I think we're supposed to interact with you. I'm not rattled at all. He might not come to City as well. He might choose Chelsea.
80% of the show, don't worry. He's rattled.
Anyway, guys, there's still over 1,000 here. Hit that like button first.
You know when I'm rattled, bro.
Get me to 500 likes. Get me to 500 likes. It is how this channel keep going, so you can rattle us from the chat to get more people to rattle us in the chat. Guys, the last part is...
When that's rattled, he says bro like 1,700 times.
Let's talk about the game.
Whoa. It's a window. Anyway.
Okay, so again, when we want to talk about Arsenal and Man City, I want everybody in the chat right now, be objective.
What's the
Put
score?
the score line. Man City first, Arsenal second. Put the score. How do you think the score will look like at the end of the game? Cassie, you want to start with this, like the game? I don't know.
I think Arsenal win. I'll be honest, and I don't think no one's going to care either. They're going to care, but this is what The whole point of saying this is preseason. It's just a friendly. Remember, Man United, it's just a friendly. If they win this game, what's the narrative going to be today? That's all I'm going to ask. What is it going to be? Is it the Super Cup? Is it the Community Shield? Or is it just a friendly? We shouldn't get gassed, or we should get gassed. Which one? I mean, shouldn't.
Let me.
You know,
I want
City
to
lost the
address
last two-
something about.
City,
Yeah,
City
yeah,
lost. I believe City lost the last.
I want to address
Two
this community shield. The difference between the community shield and the Super Cup in Spain or Italy is that before even the 5-sub rule now, the community shield was treated as a friendly between the clubs. 5 subs were allowed. It was chill vibes. It wasn't serious. While in all the other countries, the Super Cup is like everything is by the books. This is why the charity shield, which is why it's called the charity shield, isn't taken seriously in England.
Oh,
And
charity.
until they take it seriously
It's
and
called
have the same
community now.
rules as the game, it's called community now. We can't consider this. I've watched teams sub 5 players at halftime in the community shield.
If it's a
We
cup,
can't
then-
take that seriously, right?
If it's a cup, by the way, if this is classed as a trophy, then I swear down, Liverpool don't come close to our trophy count. Then I'm just saying,
No.
not even close.
I've done the count without Community Shield with 2 ahead of you. Don't do that. I've
Swear-
done
no,
the
no,
count.
no.
Without
No, yeah,
Community
no,
Shield.
yeah,
It
but- yeah, but-
benefits you.
I can win.
It benefits
I
you.
can win.
You've won more Community Shields than us, so it will benefit you.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's what I was.
You walked into that one.
Exactly what I just said.
Oh, sorry. See, I'm sorry. I went on. Sorry.
I just, if we want to count it as a cup now, yeah, then we blow everyone out the water, yeah, with the count. I'm just saying.
Even Arsenal have a shout because they won better as well. So
They count them. They all count them. They all count them.
No, but I don't think anybody in England count the community shield other than Arsenal fans today if they win. Just today, by the way.
Do you know what? But Arsenal fans,
No,
I'll
to
be honest.
fair, Shameless Liverpool fans were last summer. I'm not gonna lie. That's where the
You was
Nunes
part of it.
comparison.
You won a trophy and that.
You was a part of it.
Guys, don't do that. I was with you that day. After the game, I said, "Bro, it's just a friendly." I was happy. Obviously, Nunes
Whatever.
back. I wasn't gassed that we got. Don't
You
do
and
that. You were
Monts
with
gassed.
me,
You
bro.
and Monts were gassed. You and Monts
Do you
were
know-
definitely gassed.
But for me, though, this is more about. This is one that I think Arsenal need to win, not so that they can celebrate winning, like Dad said about it being a cup or being champions v champions. Arsenal need to win this for me, just to know that, or have that belief that they can beat City. Otherwise, they go into another season knowing that they probably going to be in a title race that is a damn good chance City are going to win home and away in the league. Right, that's what's going to happen. If Arsenal don't win today, in the back of their heads is, guess what? 6 points lost this season in the Premier League to City again. We can't beat this damn team. Whereas if they get a result against us, they can say, okay, we've finally managed to beat Manchester City. Maybe we can do it into the league. And it's a confidence thing for Arsenal more than the...
I
Yeah.
think you're spot on. It's definitely a psychological thing because Monts was telling me yesterday the last 16 out of 70 games, team you've won 16, and the other
Yeah.
one was a
The other
draw.
one was in the FA. Yeah, the other one was a draw. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
crazy.
Yep.
That is crazy. So
They've
no,
embarrassed
I
them,
agree
bro.
with you. Yeah, it's embarrassing.
I even remember when you beat them in that final Carabao Cup, and then you beat them a few days later when it was snowing at the Emirates. I remember that game. You lot smoked them again.
Smoked them. Yeah. It's and this is the thing. And I said this. I said this when we played them in the FA Cup in January, and they were saying, and they came out of the back of it. I said before the game, Arsenal need to play a strong team, because they just need to get that belief in their head before we come to the Emirates that they can get a result against us. After that game, City won that game, but then Arsenal fans were like, yeah, but we look really good. And, we've got hope. We're even more confident than ever that we can take to the Emirates and beat you now because of how close we came in that game. And then...
Why is everyone else acting like we beat City? I think everyone here has beat City in the last 4 years, a couple times or more, by Inter Milan.
Bro, Tuchel beat him beat Pep like 3 times in the space of what, 6
Liverpool-
weeks?
even
Pep
Ole
has the most
beat
wins
Pep.
against Pep.
Even Ole Gunnar Solskjaer beat
Yeah.
Pep. Like, come on, man. It don't matter. It's just so we're
Do
gonna
you know what made me laugh about that game, Daps? Yeah, when Arsenal fans were getting carried away, like, oh, we played better than them. I was saying, like, look, literally, that game was a game of chess. Pep literally said, "Have the ball. We're gonna get you either way. Have the ball." And obviously, Ake came through with that goal.
But the other thing is, when you look at that game, the one in the FA Cup, and this is what I kind of said afterwards, is that is during a January period where Arsenal were on fire, right? And they came and played a Manchester City where at that point we were still playing Rico Lewis, who I said at the time we need to get our best 11 back in. Otherwise, we're not going to win the league. But Arsenal were getting hope based on the fact that they played City at their worst when they were at their best, right? And they'd still lost.
I'm interested.
I remember Man City at that time. They had the problem with the left back. They couldn't know who to play left back. Cancelo had a problem, and they played Aki. And the Man City fans said, "But we need a left back." And then Arsenal came in. They played their first team or changed a couple of players, tried to dominate the ball, and just lost the game.
You should have won that game, really.
So let's just say like with the game later today. Let's say City just annihilate Arsenal later on today, right? Are we still going to carry? Are we still going to carry on saying that it's just pre-season? Because for me, I'm ready for the season to start now. I'm tired of it's just pre-season. I'm tired of it.
Okay, can I ask you another question? So the other way. So if you said that if City annihilate Arsenal, so what if Arsenal win?
It depends on how the game goes in terms of the performances on both sides.
I'm excited by the Arsenal side. Like, I'm more excited to watch Arsenal than Man City play football.
Actually, no.
Unless Vardio's playing. But
I'm intrigued.
I'm intrigued just to see if there's any different.
Yeah.
Go on.
If Arsenal did the other way and annihilate City, I think it'll be the norm because City always start off slow anyway. So I'm not saying batter them like 3-4-0. That's crazy. But let's say
No, I think 3-4-0. I'm having a different conversation with that.
According to Dawood, it's going to be 4-0.
Hold on. But let's be.
City and then go on.
So if we look at Champions Leagues, I'm pretty certain. I know we lost last season to Liverpool. I'm pretty certain the season before that we lost to Leicester.
Yeah.
No. And
Leicester won it.
Wait, they won the FA Cup recently.
Are you talking about the charity shield?
Yeah. And then 2 years ago at the start of the season, we got beat at home by Leicester 5-2. So I'm being real. I'm not looking at this game having any influence on how I see City. The only thing I'm taking from this is and that's if City win, by the way. If City win, I'm not going to go, that's it. We're going to fly away and win everything this season either, right? It's the same as I go into every season. We've got to be there in every competition. Can't predict we're going to win anything. But the only thing I will take away from this game is if Arsenal can beat City, then I think they've got over a hurdle that they've struggled to get over. And I'd say, I already think Arsenal are going to challenge. I think if Arsenal challenge knowing they've managed to beat City, then that's a tick in a box for Arsenal. And I'll say, yeah, that's good for you. That gives you lot more hope that you might get something this year.
I think Pep takes the piss and just play a second fiddle team, which is Arsenal win. And then
I mean, Port might start.
They win though.
They're playing. They're gonna. Do you lot think they're gonna start with Eddie or Trossard up top?
Eddie.
Bad mistake.
Look,
last season, but last season,
can I change my answer then because
it should be because last season, going into the game, I think at the Etihad or going into one of the games, there was a big debate Arsenal fans were having on every show, and it was should they start with Eddie or should they start with Trossard and have Martinelli, Trossard, and Saka? And every time they said it, I said, you know what? Against City, I think you've got more chance of going with a fluid front three like that than going with Eddie. And they played it, and Eddie offered absolutely nothing. I think Trossard, when we played Trossard, every time Trossard plays against us, he causes us trouble. Trossard causes Manchester City trouble.
I actually think the more question is that
smoky settings. Put smoky settings one up.
I don't know what that comment is.
You said it.
Eddie's going to be captain.
Eddie's going to be captain. But anyway,
I've just also seen Arsenal slap City in the FA Cup. Oh, slapping?
If slapping and losing 2-1, I love it.
The confidence they're going to take into the season is going to be crazy. Nottingham Forest going to put 5.
No, but seriously, do we think Havertz is going to play this game?
Yeah, we get minutes. Yeah, of course he is. He's been playing.
He's not going to. He's going to start.
Come on.
I think he'll come on.
I think Rice, Havertz, and Ode. I can see that as the starting 3. I don't think Partey starts this game. Could be
Roms. After I saw the highlights of the game against Monaco, they need Partey to start, bro. They need it.
No, I agree with you. I just don't think Partey will start today.
Bro, if they don't have Thomas Partey this season, they go from 2nd to 4th. That's a DM.
I have to agree on that part as well, man. I don't care what signings they've got.
To be honest, in the chat, the Arsenal fans are saying Havertz going to play.
The team is disjointed, and Rice not yet is the guy. Like, what are we talking about here? There's a massive difference.
Rice starts, bro. Rice is definitely...
No, I get it. Rice is an 8 on the left. He's an 8 on the left.
I'm agreeing with
the
you.
best midfield.
Partey, Odegaard, and Rice are the strongest midfielders. We all know that. I'm saying for today's game, I just don't think Partey starts. I think he goes with.
Oh, so you
with
think
Rice
it's
in
an
six.
experiment? It's not like, but
Yeah,
you don't
I think
think
for
it's
just
gonna.
today's.
Wait, hold on. Wait,
Yeah,
just a
not
quick
going
one. Just a quick one.
forward.
Alex,
One
go.
second, Dennis. Dennis, I like you, my guy. You sometimes super chat as well. Don't tell my man to shut up. I'll get rid of you, bro. I don't care. Don't tell a panel to shut up. If he shuts up about your favorite club, then what's the point of a generic channel? Go watch AFTV then, man. They got super
Yeah, real
positive.
talk. This whole shut up thing needs to stop.
it,
Like,
man.
I don't know if on road you get away. Anyone that tells people to shut up, I don't know if on road if like you get away with telling people to shut up and not getting a slap round your face very swiftly. Like it's
He's
not
not
the way
doing
you
Someone
speak
was
to
talking
people.
about
Allow
who? Was someone
Anyone
talking about
saying
who?
shut up, like shut
No,
up,
he
is
just-
not something you just
Allow
throw
it, man.
around.
I
Man.
don't even want to bait you out, but I'm baiting you out, man. Allow it because he done it yesterday. Like Mo said yesterday, don't do that. Don't get
He
rid
gets
of
his
the panel.
backup. He gets his backup anytime
It's not
Arsenal
something
gets
crazy,
mentioned.
but I'm not going to tell you, man, to shut up in the comments.
Yeah,
You know,
shut
it's
up's
not
just
the
rude.
point.
Like,
I'm
have
like,
some
come with an
respect, man.
opinion. Call Mo's opinion shit. Just don't tell him to shut up and get all personal and all that.
But just a quick one, boys. Yeah, I don't know how true this is, but Alex Goldberg has said that the midfield is going to be Declan Rice, Partey, and Odegaard. That's the starting midfield apparently.
Boom. That's the
So I
best
don't know-
midfield
I don't know
Arsenal
how
have.
true
That's
it
the
is.
best one.
Yeah.
So,
I think that. I think they need Partey against City. I think they need that. They need to try and dominate possession. They need to try and stop City from playing football. And look, I think most Arsenal fans would agree that is. I think most football fans, full stop, would agree that's the best midfield
You know
Arsenal
what?
have.
You know one thing I
Mm.
think. You know one thing I think is key. I think Arsenal fans don't just want to win this game; it's how they win. Because let's say
Yeah.
City dominate the game, right? But Arsenal win 2-1, and they literally have 2 shots on target, and literally both shots on target go in. That won't. I say the proper Arsenal fans, they'll come away from the game like, yeah, we won, but we weren't convincing. They still dominated us. I think it's key. I think the way they win will mean a lot to their fans.
I
as well.
actually disagree with that a little bit, Roms, because I actually think that yes, you need to play you impose the way you play football in all the games, unless you're playing Man City. The only team that you might have to adapt a little bit to how they play is Man City. Actually, if he adapts to Man City and play on the counter and win the game, I'll give him more props, Arteta, because it's the only team that I would accept any team to come and try to stop them from playing their football and counter-attack them and hit their defense. It's very strong.
Do you know why you actually are? Do you know why I actually asked for on? Because we've had a few smash and grab wins against City, and because it is just City, you're fine with it. Anyone else, you kind of come away from the game that we're better than them. But where City are the best team, no, that's actually a fair
because
point.
because
you know what?
One of the problems with Arsenal last year is that they couldn't adapt to different styles. Like they had one way of playing football, and some games they lost because they couldn't adapt. So I would like to see that adaptation this season, and especially against City. Go ahead, Don.
I'm intrigued to see how Cover gets on today if he starts the game, because I haven't watched a single Man City like preseason game, so I want to see how he gets on. Guardiola, I'm guessing he's obviously not going to be in the squad. It's too early, Daps. I'm guessing.
I can't see it. He only passed his medical Friday. Covers, do you know what? The one thing, Covers actually looked really good preseason. He's looked like he's fit into the team very, very quickly, and I expect Cover to start 100%. I'll be shocked if he doesn't. To be fair.
Let me.
What do you think of his? Has he been doing a madness in front of goal end product?
No, of course, you know the answer to that, bro. That's a loaded question. Hold on, have we brought him in for that? Bro, do you want me to go through your players?
I'm just asking questions, buddy. I'm just asking questions, man.
Let me.
Right, no problem.
So doing a mo job.
He's asking loaded
I'm just asking questions.
What? So I
haven't watched a single game. I haven't watched a single game of yours. I don't know.
Question. Do you think Manchester City have brought him in to slap in front of goals, bud?
Listen, I'm asking questions.
No, I just asked you one back. So I answered yours, so answer mine back. Do you think Man City brought him in to slap goals?
I don't think it's been brought in as a I wouldn't say that he's been brought in to be a clinical finisher in front of goal. That's not what
the one thing I do know is that in his interview he said that he's looking forward to getting back to winning trophies. That's one thing I do know. He said,
"Yeah, pal."
I mean, he's one of the biggest things you can win at club football at my club.
Yeah, no,
so
he said hold on,
fine.
listen to what I said. He's looking forward to getting back to winning trophies because there's been a bit of a drought. So
yeah, okay, but it doesn't erase the Champions League is one with us. Doesn't erase the Europa is one with us.
We got one of them, bro. It's fine. It doesn't hurt me anymore. The
Let's
Champions
get some
League.
predictions so we can end this show.
Yeah, predictions.
Get some
Predictions.
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 Predictions when you're gonna make me another tea.
I'm not.
Exactly. So it's a game then.
I'm not, bro.
All right, pal.
No, bro. Remember, I'm rattled, so
All right,
not
guys.
making you a cup of tea, bro. Bro.
All right. All right. What did Don
Okay.
say again?
Does
Buddy.
we don't have a-
Buddy.
So,
Buddy just reminds me of the film Elf.
yeah. Couple of
You know,
things,
Buddy rattles so many people that say, you know,
Yeah,
hey,
yeah.
just
Nah,
ask the
Bud.
questions, buddy.
I do Bud. I do Bud. I do Bud
I
more.
don't know,
It's so
is that
patronizing.
something
It's
in-
so
Like your-
patronizing.
yeah.
Buddy? Really? A lot of people say buddy in America.
No, but the way he
Oh,
said
I hate it. I hate
It's
it.
an
When people call me Bud. Yeah, that's all right, Bud.
Bud is the
Bud,
one.
it's so patronizing. I
Oh,
hate
yeah.
it.
Why?
Anyways,
It's
predictions.
just so patronizing. But
No,
anyway,
what's your
yeah,
prediction?
predictions.
Oh, what's your prediction?
Man City 2-1.
I'm gonna go Arsenal 2-1.
Okay.
I'm going for a Desmond. 2-2 Arsenal win on penalties.
I'm going to say, you know what? Arsenal been leaking goals. I'm going to say 3-1 City. I'm saying
Anyway,
3-1 City.
Couple of, so I know
Wait,
that
But yeah, Daps, you don't do it.
Daps is not going to do predictions. But I want to address a couple of comments.
Right?
I want to
What?
address a couple of things. Sorry. guys.
That was
Someone
me.
all caps in the comments keep saying this is an Arsenal show. You guys take a lot of time about Arsenal.
Oh my god.
You don't watch the show. We have spent an hour not mentioning Arsenal once, and you come in on the comments all caps because you just open YouTube now and you think we've been talking about Arsenal for hours.
No,
So please
Hold on,
stop
no.
this shit.
Oh, the biggest and funniest thing is the
Like,
show has
it's
been
ridiculous.
1 hour 20 minutes. We probably spent an hour pretty much speaking on Chelsea. to
Hour
be
and
fair,
4
predominantly.
minutes.
We spent about half an hour talking about Tottenham.
Hold on, and here's the truth. Here's the truth. Guess what? There's only one game of football today, and it fucking involves Arsenal. Like, come on. I'm a City fan, and we're playing Arsenal. So
What's
we're
your
going to talk
prediction?
on City Arsenal. What's my prediction?
Yeah, it's friendly, so who cares? So what's the prediction? Oh, he's gonna do it again.
Anyway,
Predictions, bro.
Who's live right now, man? Because he don't, because it's not friendly then, is it? Then Daps, it clearly means something to Daps.
Yeah, it does, bro. Because if Arsenal win this, like I said to you, if Arsenal win this, then they go into the season with a bit more chest.
Right? Who do I feel?
That's
nice,
what it means to me.
Who do I feel nice? I don't know. Wait, what time is Monts live?
Bro, send it to a channel that's got like 5 subscribers.
Bro, that's not
That's
for
what's
hours.
local.
Monster have at 7:30.
Who's Leicester fan TV? No, I don't like Leicester fan TV. Henry. No, Henry's getting on my nerves lately. Oh, there's Sean. Let's send it to Sean.
Sean, send him to Sean.
just
Salute
how
to
it
Sean.
is.
And
Yeah,
listen,
man.
when
Oh,
you
it's
land,
cool.
when you stay on the stream, when it goes to the next one, the minute you get in there, in the comments you write NAF raid, and then you or never fail raid, and you smash that like button and subscribe to him, please, people.
Yeah, and we're gonna run back something vintage.